There you go. Hi, honey. You look so cute.
You look pretty. Look at your hair.
Oh, thank you. I like your hair pulled back. You
Oh,
look
it's
so
just pulled
good.
back.
You look so cute.
Hi.
This little,
Oh,
hi,
there we go. Oh,
there you
hey,
go.
hey, Doc. We have the same backgrounds.
Yes, you do.
Dr. Reddy is my cardiologist. I used to have a radio show here in Houston, and that's how we met. And he's fabulous. And I can't say enough. He knows everything about everything.
Oh,
And
thank you, Terry.
tonight we're going to talk about fish oil. Let's get started because I know a lot of people have questions. So, what is fish oil supposed to do for the heart, and why is it so talked about?
So for years, for almost 50 years, people have been taking fish oil thinking that it actually helps with the heart. And every study done showed it really did not help much with the heart until this study done by this particular company, which was selling Vasepa. And what they did was they recruited about close to patients with Vasepa, and what they found was it not only helped shrink the plaque, but also decreased incidence of heart attacks and strokes. So then you'll ask, wait a minute, all these people have been taking fish oil in the past, but why this particular fish oil worked? Well, the difference is this. 50 or 60 years ago, Japanese figured out that even though they were consuming a lot of cold water fish, though they were eating a lot of fish, and their omega-3 levels were extremely high, yet somewhere along the line, someone figured out that if you take the fish oil and split it into two, DHA and EPA, that means fish oil comes in two different types of molecules. One is called David, DHA, one is called LPA. So for some reason, this scientist decided to split it and then give his patients only EPA. And what they found was it really helped prevent heart attacks. But for some reason, they never informed this to the rest of the world. So later on, this company figured out that, hey, EPA can be different. And so then they did a study showing that EPA actually helps shrink plaque, decrease heart attacks, and also decrease incidence of strokes by just taking that particular fish oil.
This is it.
Now,
Have
that
me
is
on
correct,
this.
Vasepa. That
Oh,
is.
wait, I want to see. Hold it up, Terry, so we can see it.
So
What
it's
is
a
that?
prescription, but
Okay.
listen, here's the thing. You gotta like taking pills because these are friggin' horse pills. These are
That's
big
right.
pills. But
I don't do pills because I just don't do pills. Can we do a liquid? Does it come in does it come in a liquid form?
No, it only comes in the pill form, and it is unique that it is not oxidized and it is prescription only. Any other fish oil you buy in the market, no idea if it's pure EPA or not. Second, you don't know how much of it is oxidized. Third, you don't know how much of it is actually DHA. And fourth, most of the times you don't even know if it's actually fish oil or olive oil. You have no idea. So the only way you can really get what you're asking for if you want EPA fish oil is to go for the prescription kind. Any other, you're just shooting in the dark. You have no idea what you're taking and how it's going to help you or hurt you.
so Coda, or I should say Dr. Reddy,
No, no, call me Kota. Kota is perfect.
so you put me on it and I have no plaque because you did my scan. So
Okay.
is everybody a candidate for this?
Yes. You know why? Because EPA is an essential fat. That means what? We as human beings cannot make it and we need it. So if we need it, we have to take it in the form of fish, cold water fish, or in the form of a pill. But if you take it in the cold water fish form, you get EPA and DHA. And what they're finding out is DHA is required for the brain. EPA is required for the body. DHA works wonders for the mitochondria in the brain. EPA works wonders for the mitochondria in the body. But DHA blocks the beneficial effects of EPA in the body. And EPA, when it enters the brain treats it like Cinderella and basically burns it off.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you something really quickly. So a lot of these people don't live in Houston and they
right.
have cardiologists that may not think like you do. So what do they ask for when they go to the cardiologist and say they want to get on fish oil? I mean, how do they, will the doctor recommend it, or do you think a little bit out of the box, even though this is a great product?
That's a great question. So the answer to that is simple. If you happen to have high triglycerides, you're a candidate. If you have a history of diabetes, you're a candidate. If you have a history of heart disease and you had stents or bypasses, you are a candidate. If you have high cholesterol and you're not able to get it under control, you can add Vasepa as an adjunct therapy. So you can go to your primary care physician and ask, hey, can I get Vasepa? Or if Vasepa is too expensive, can I get the generic Vasepa? And if the primary care physician doesn't give it, then you can also go ask your cardiologist.
All right, people are asking what the name of it is. It's called Vasepa. It's VASCEPA.
What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll put in the descriptions, you guys, in the comments. I will post this video on my Instagram page, and we will put the name of the prescription in the comments, so you guys will have it there. So just go back to the page, and I will list everything out. And this will also be recorded and posted on the page.
Coming back to Terry's question is, why do I need to take this fish oil? Why can't I take any other fish oil? If you want to improve your skin, if you want to decrease inflammation, if you want to drop your blood pressure, if you want to prevent plaques, if you want to shrink plaques, if you want to drop your CRP, if you want to drop your L plaque, the inflammation, this is the medication.
But there's a little bit of a side effect. So I do find myself bruising easier. Correct? It can cause you to bruise easier. Yes.
Why is that?
All fish oils have this one particular property. When you take excess fish oil, and depends on each person's tolerance, fish oil of any kind, or even if you eat excess fish, you are going to bleed. Now, Inuits who are eating a lot of whale blubber, the only way they were dying is because of bleeding. Heart disease, they ate so much fat that most of it was fish oil, which in turn caused their blood to become too thin, which in turn led them to bleed. So yes, if you take a lot of fish oil, you can bleed. But that, like for example, I'm able to tolerate 8 capsules without a problem. There are some people who can barely tolerate 2. Some can tolerate 1. Some, even with 1 pill, they tend to bruise. So each one is different. But the standard prescription dose is 4, and almost 95% to 98% of people tolerate 4 capsules a day without a problem. But the key is you always have to take it with food.
4
grams a day. 4 grams a day.
Wow.
Now, when you have so much omega-6, you're at high risk for inflammation. Think of this way. Omega-6 and omega-3. 6 causes inflammation. Eat 6, but in excess, it causes inflammation. 3 puts the inflammation out. So we are lacking in 3 and we are excess in 6. When you go into excess 6, then you're going to have issues with inflammation. And you will not be able to prevent plaques. You will not be able to shrink plaques. Many of us have very high omega-6 and very low omega-3.
The name of the prescription fish oil is V as in Victor, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, C is in Charlie, E is in Elephant, P is in Paul, and A is in Apple. So I'll put it in the comments after the video so you guys will have it. And also I will post this video on my Instagram page. So the way I look at it, being a layperson, right? Being a layperson, you just need the right fish oil to go to the brain, which is DHA, and then you need the other fish oil to go to the body to prevent plaque is EPA. So that's all we need to know. And here's the thing, being a layperson, I didn't even understand, because I take fish oil every day because of my high blood pressure. They told me that it would help, but I never knew that there was an EPA and a DHA. And so now I talked to the doctor last week. So what I need to do is get a pure form of EPA that we spoke last week. Is that correct, doctor?
That is correct. That is correct. Okay. Repeat the understanding. You said EPA is Eric. Eric is needed by the body. Agree with that? DHA is David, and David, body doesn't want David, but it'll take it and accept it. The brain wants David. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Okay. Now, when you eat salmon, what you're getting DHA and EPA, but you're getting a DHA form in the form of triglycerides, and it cannot be admitted into the brain. So David is taken up by the body, Eric is taken up by the body, but David doesn't help the body, and David actually blocks the beneficial effects of Eric. So clear so far?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Now, then you say, okay, wait a minute. If I take enough fish oil with DHA, If I eat a lot of salmon, I'm overloading my body with DHA. Sooner or later, that DHA has to go to the brain. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, if you have excess DHA, then it goes to the liver, gets bound to a protein, and then it goes to the brain. That's a step you have to follow. But we are unable to do that. Why? Because we are being blocked by omega-6. Because we are eating so much omega-6 that our systems are almost at the level of toxicity. We have so much omega-6 in our system.
What omega-6 is in what food?
Okay, all nuts, omega-6.
Ooh.
All liquid oils, omega-6. So that's all liquid oils, omega-6, and all nuts. Now, you may say peanut oil does not have that much omega-6. Avocado does have omega-6. Olive oil does not have omega-6 unless they are pure. But I'm not sure if they're adulterated, then they're going to get soybean or canola oil. And if they are getting that, then you're basically getting omega-6. And if you're consuming omega-6 thinking it's avocado oil, if you're consuming omega-6 thinking it's olive oil, then it's not helping you. At the end of the day, you're hurting the system by consuming more omega-6.
I thought nuts were good for you, but now what I'm hearing is if you have too much nuts that it's blocking, it's too
That's
much
right.
omega-6 and it's going to block the absorption of the David into your brain.
That is correct. You got it. See, nuts are not bad, but if you eat a lot of nuts, you get a lot of omega-6. Now remember, omega-6 and omega-3 both are essential fats. Got it. But when you eat a lot of nuts, you increase the omega-6 in your system. And what does the body do? It takes the omega-6 and puts it in the cell membrane, takes the omega-6 and dumps it in the fat cells. And once it gets into cell membrane, it takes almost 100 days before it's kicked out. And once it gets in the fat cells, it takes almost 2 years for it to get out. It just stays there. So when you have this long half-life and the omega-6 stays in your cell membrane and the body, and when you have excess omega-6 that goes to the liver, now the omega-6 binds to the protein and blocks the David from binding to the protein. So guess what? Omega-6 goes to the brain and gets incorporated in the brain. Now, the brain wants DHA, but it's getting omega-6. It cannot operate well. Now imagine.
How does omega-6 affect the brain?
It basically is rusted oil. Once it gets there, it causes inflammation in the brain and does not do what DHA does. See, DHA acts as a semiconductor in the brain. It is a key element for the brain to operate and work at its peak performance. So if you're replacing the DHA with 6, it basically doesn't do the work. So if it doesn't do, the brain cannot work as it is supposed to work.
Okay, so now I'm understanding it. So David, I'm going to call him David.
Let's call David.
DHA. The only way to get DHA into the brain is what?
Only way you can get DHA into the brain is by eating salmon roe or krill meat.
Grilled meat.
Krill, K-R-I-L-L, krill.
Grill. Okay, and for those that can't do it, is that what this pill does?
This pill gives you only Eric. It does not give you David.
Hold
So
on.
Terri, have to take this and take salmon roe. Now, salmon roe gets into the gut and goes to the brain, and this goes directly to the body, and they don't interact.
So salmon, would you spell that? Salmon what?
R-O-E, roe. The salmon caviar, eggs.
So it's okay. Okay. And I have a question, doctor.
Krill meat.
Krill. What? I don't know what is krill meat. I don't know what that is.
Okay. They belong to the shellfish family, and basically krill is where it's harvested from Antarctica. It has got the highest source of omega-3, and cold water fish basically eat this type of planktons and krill, which basically help them to get or acquire omega-3 in their system and acts as liquid antifreeze for them. That's why you don't.
Is there another way of getting this besides eating the salmon eggs and the krill meat? Is there another way of getting David?
The other way is to take krill oil, but again, it is in the form of triglycerides. So you are hoping that the David gets into the system and goes to the liver, gets converted to the protein-bound David, who goes to the brain. Now you're taking a chance.
Okay, so Doc, I bet you there's hardly anyone on here that eats krill meat or eats salmon eggs.
I didn't know that either until when I started looking into it and started learning, because for 20 years, I've been recommending patients to take omega-3. First, I started off with taking, not pushing, but giving patients Lovaza, which is Eric and David put together. For 10 years, thousands of patients, I never saw improvement in their plaque. Then when Vasepa came, I put them on Vasepa. Then miraculously, I started within a year to 2 years, I found a significant improvement in their plaques. So I kept asking patients to take Vasepa, but I never connected the dot that when you take Vasepa, you're not helping the brain unless you have DHA. But then, okay, I tell patients to take DHA, but DHA goes to the body and David blocks the beneficial effects of EPA. Then how do I get the David into the brain? That's when I started doing research. And what I found was the only way David gets into the brain is it has to be bound to this lipoprotein. Okay. Phospholipoprotein. But the only way it can be bound to that is either it gets bound in the liver or you consume it outside bound. Now, if you want to consume it outside bound, that means you have to eat fish brain. Nobody eats that. Or you have to eat krill, which nobody eats. Or you have to get the salmon eggs and eat them. These are the only good sources. Any other source doesn't help.
Okay, here's a good question. If O6 is reduced or controlled, does that help DHA go to the brain? So in essence, if you control your omega-6 and your omega-3s, will that help that go to your brain?
Yes, yes, yes. If you eliminate all omega-6 and go on very low omega-6, then soon your body's omega-6 levels tend to drop. When that happens, when you take krill oil or when you take oil with DHA or when you eat salmon, the DHA in that goes to the liver, gets bound to the protein phospholipid, and then goes to the brain and gets incorporated to the brain. But we are not there because we are all so toxic with omega-6 or O6.
So has anybody not developed a pill that has krill meat or has salmon eggs, has not developed a pill for us to take?
At this point, no. Studies have been done, but they have not done it yet. You can go and look at the studies on animal models, and they found significant improvement in the brain function, but they have not come out with a pill form.
So the omega-6 seeds, are you familiar? It's sunflower seeds, poppy seeds,
pumpkin seeds. Most seeds give you omega-6. Nuts give you omega-6, and most liquid oils give you omega-6. These are the culprits.
Okay, chocolate. Wow.
But then nuts and oils are good for you, so we're screwed.
Well, I eat a lot of nuts. I mean, I eat nuts every day, and I love them.
I have been loading up on nuts for the last 20 years. Right. Until I realized that it started causing severe inflammation in the body. Then I couldn't figure out why would I have so much inflammation in my body. So I started investigating, and what I learned shocked me. Because of the excess omega-6 I was consuming, no matter how much Vasepa I took, it was not counteracting my inflammation. So for the last 4 months, I wiped out omega-6. Guess what happened? Things started to change. As I walked away from omega-6 and then started doing these things, the inflammation completely disappeared, 90%. And
so you're saying
I've got a long way to go.
So a lot of the problems in our body, which I have read up on, is inflammation of the heart, yes. Inflammation of the brain. When you have that inflammation, that's when things start to go awry. So that's what we want to do is to help reduce the inflammation in our bodies. Okay.
So then the question you have to ask is, which of the two, omega-3 or omega-6, which of the two causes inflammation? Omega-6. Who puts the inflammation out? Omega-3. Of the three, which one puts the inflammation out in the body?
Eric.
Okay, here's look at my notes, you guys.
Oh, good.
EHA or Eric. Right?
And so Eric puts the inflammation out in the body, and David puts the inflammation out in the brain. But a little bit of, okay, so if you look at the brain, for every 30 parts of DHA, David, you have 1 EPA. That's how much the brain wants the DHA.
Is there any blood test that you can take in order to know what's in your system at this time? Is there a blood test?
You can do a blood test to see what's in your system in the body, but not the brain. because you don't have
Oh.
access to what's happening in the brain unless you take a brain biopsy, which nobody's going to do.
Do you think that if we could get DHA into the brain a
Yes.
little bit more thoroughly, do you think that would help prevent what diseases?
Oh, okay. One, if you can get DHA into your brain, it'll make you much smarter, more protects you against dementia.